So I think in a crisis, it's important to understand what kind of crisis it is. For me, first and foremost, it's a health crisis, it's a humanitarian crisis. So taking care of our employees came first, making sure they felt safe and secure, that them and their families were being supported by our company. That was priority one. The second priority is the viability of the business itself, making sure we had sufficient cash reserves for many years to come so we can invest in our team, invest in our people. And that was the second priority. The third, though, is equally important, and that is giving some inspiration, giving a sense of purpose so that people have something to look forward to. And that was the third priority for our business. Working from home, remote working, remote work in general is going to become much more consistent with the workplaces of the future. This has big implications on businesses, not just for their own organizations, but for partners, vendors, customers, suppliers that they work with. You're going to have to find digital technologies to interact with people within your organization, but also key partners that you interact with. And I think that's going to be something that's going to be important. Another thing that's going to be critical is internal automation. Because if we aren't all going to be physically seated in one location together, our ability to actually use automation software to create that similar experience is critical. So if you think about everything from procurement to the way in which we collaborate, to taking notes and exchanging ideas, all of this needs to get digitized and automated. The final part is immersive content is here to stay. I think people are going to get used to using augmented reality and other experiences to discover, browse, and experience new content and services. And to the degree that a company or a brand is willing to invest in them, I believe that they will separate from the crowd. And the first example that comes to mind for me is PropertyGuru Fast Key. This is a software that we sell to property developers for sales process automation. This year, what we've done is we've augmented that product to create a product called Fast Key Storyteller. It has immersive 3D experiences so that property developers were still able to sell and market their solutions to virtual buyers, people in some cases who lived in different countries. And they were able to have this experience connected with their booking engine. Another experience I can think of is PropertyGuru Finance. It's a mortgage marketplace that we launched this year. And really, this year of all years, people have had to look at their personal cash flow. So not just financing their new home, but potentially refinancing a home they've already have a mortgage against. And having a digital solution for that has been critical, as they've not been able to visit their banks or do things the way they've done historically. So digital experiences in finance are going to be a big part of the property sector for years to come. So what we are trying to do as a marketplace is inject more transparency, more efficiency into the property buying experience. What we realized is that property financing is on the critical path to that. In fact, a couple of years ago, we did some research in Malaysia, another market in which we operate, and we realized that up to 60% of home loans get rejected, home loan applications that is. And that is because the property seeker simply has no idea of their credit worthiness. In 2020, we've taken a major step forward in Singapore with the launch of PropertyGuru Finance. The goal there is to have a transparent financing marketplace which allows for a digital experience for property seekers. So when you're used to looking for property on our marketplace, you will now also look for home loans, which can help you secure that property. So the goal here is in subsequent years to completely digitize the property financing experience so that a consumer can now really not just find the home of their dreams, but also find the financial wherewithal to secure it. So I think marketing, one thing that's critical to understand with digital products is marketing is as much about the media and the communication as it is about the product experience. So we invest a lot in product development and making sure that we can deliver on the promise that our marketing campaign makes. And so for us, it is sort of two arms essentially working hand in hand together. The marketing campaign going out and making promises to the consumer, and the product actually delivering on those promises. It's critical to understand both phases. I think some companies get it wrong by focusing much more on their marketing campaigns and their advertising slogan, but not focusing enough on the product experience itself. And in the end, for a digital company, brand is really about the product experience. Virtual events are very new, particularly when it comes to the real estate sector. For us to use technologies which are consistent with this. So not just immersive 3D virtual tours, which are definitely a part of a virtual experience, but also things such as virtual keynotes, where property experts come in and speak. Live chat, so that you can speak to property experts and get your questions answered 24/7. But also, finally, the ability to look at real-time availability of units and put in inquiries directly then and there. It's critical to think about a virtual expo as not just a marketing show window, but marketing and sales combined. It just happens to be virtual. I think 2020 has taken property significantly forward when it comes to PropTech. The adoption of technology, not just in the consumer-facing side, but within the enterprise, within the organization, has been tremendous. Everything from sales process automation to most recently, people talking about conveyance documents, property documents that is, all of that getting digitized has taken a big step forward. So when I think about property in 2021 and beyond, I really believe that technology now will be core to the experience of not just the consumer, but even the seller or the property developer themselves.